Tom and I went to Budapest this winter. Come along and see what we got up to. First of all, how amazing is my friend Meg? 4:30 in the morning, she takes us to the airport. Wow. Morning, Meg is driving us to the airport. What a good friend! When we got to the airport, Tom and I had some breakfast. Mine wasn't amazing, Tom's was really good. Mine was the one that had like pancakes that had those sort of fruit. It had kind of fruit that was, you know, like out of a can. It wasn't great. The flight was easy. You can see Tom had a little nap. And then we got a bus into the town. It was super easy to get around. The first thing we saw was Christmas markets, which is amazing. I love Christmas markets so much. It was so pretty and so much good food. And Budapest was beautiful. It was decorated so nicely for Christmas, which I personally love Christmas so much. So to see all these decorations around was so exciting. Because this was early December, so it was really lovely to see the Christmas decorations up, ready to celebrate. We found more Christmas markets. I found that they were everywhere. When we went to Copenhagen last year, it felt like they were in smaller little areas, whereas this time it felt like they were all over the place, which I loved. We had a little look around and went for lunch at 26, which is a place I've seen advertised a lot on TikTok. And you can see why. This place was gorgeous. Tom and I ended up getting all sorts of food to try, like a little tapas style stuff. Can you talk us through it? What have we got? So what's
we
this?
have roast chicken with on a bed of chickpeas with some roast peppers and a roast pepper reduction.
Lovely.
We have a whole potato
tahini, I think?
I think it's tahini and a bit of tzatziki.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure. Got some lentil soup, some lemongrass and some pepper infusion.
Okay.
And we've got some lamb koftas with bitter hummus and I think that's some red cabbage.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Honestly, the food here was amazing. Every single dish tasted so good. The beer was also really nice. Hungarian beer is so nice. Tom and I really enjoyed it. And guys, look at this place, how gorgeous. The plants, the fairy lights, the natural light coming in. Honestly, this is like heaven for me. I mean, even the bathrooms looked amazing. Like the mirrors were all covered in these plants and all the plants were real, and the vibes were immaculate. So we were so pleased that we started our journey and trip off with such a good start. But we then went to our accommodation. This is the place we stayed at. Really weird bathroom because it was like just walls around, and so you weren't actually like in another room. Like, so when you were in the bathroom and you went to the toilet or something, like everyone could hear everything. So that was weird. And then we went to go to a bath, a thermal bath, and we ended up waiting like an hour for the bath, which wasn't ideal. But when we were in, it was so nice. The next morning we went to a bakery for breakfast. This bakery was actually included in our hotel, which is amazing. So we went to this bakery every morning for breakfast, and oh my god, you guys, look at these pastries. They were insane. We got to eat like this every morning and they were so good. You could have either like 2 basic pastries or one amazing pastry with like cream and custard and fruits and all sorts, and they tasted so good. Snow!
Yellow snow.
We then went for a trip up to Fisherman's Bastion. Is it Bastion? I'll look it up. And this place, you go here for amazing views because it's overlooks Budapest. This is on the Buda side, and it is gorgeous. And there was so much snow, and this is the first proper bit of snow Tom and I have seen this winter, so it was really cool to see some snow around. And of course I drew smiley faces and all the snow that I could find. But the views were so nice. It was actually quite a misty day, which wasn't ideal, but it was still really lovely to see this area and this part of Budapest. We then walked a quite short walk over to Buda Castle, which is, or is it Buda Palace? Let me look it up. And then they did all these amazing drinks and more Christmas markets, which we love. And then Tom and I went back into town and had a little rest stop. We then went and had some food for lunch, and we already had lunch. This was dinner. I can't remember what they're called. They're fried bread with then cream cheese and stuff on top, which is obviously something that is Hungarian. And it was really good, and the salmon was amazing. We then went to indoor mini golf, and this place was so cool. On honestly, like, it was all glow in the dark and neon, and all the flooring and walls and everything was painted, like hand painted it looked, and it was gorgeous, and it was just so much fun. So we did this for a while, which was a nice way to get out of the cold and back indoors where it was nice and warm, and we had so much fun. The way the mini golf worked, like the actual surface wasn't great, so like when it like killed the balls, so if you wanted to try bounce off the back, it just didn't work, but no matter. We then went and got a Bailey's hot chocolate to share, which was so good. We didn't get much more from the Christmas markets because they were very expensive. We then went to a thermal bath in the evening. This is like the big outdoor bath they have, which was so lovely to be in. We had so much fun going around the outdoor bath, and then we explored some indoor baths, and then guys, it snowed. We went back outside and it snowed. It was so insanely magical. Tom and I just loved playing around with the snow. And yeah, after that we then went to a cute little local Hungarian pub where we got some more beers and had dinner, and it was so good. And I got to have chicken paprikash, which was so good. It's paprika chicken. Paprika, the spice, is like Hungary's thing, and it was so good with homemade dumplings. The next day, back at the bakery.
Morning.
Hungry?
Actually, yes, we are hungry.
Are you also feeling hungry?
I refuse to continue this any further.
Honestly guys, these pastries were insane, and this bakery was the cutest place. And obviously the snow continued from last night over into the next day, because when we got back into Pest further away, the snow was everywhere and it was amazing. We are now off to Budapest Zoo. I love zoos, but that's because where I have always been to zoos, they've all been about conservation and breeding and education, and I love that, and they treat the animals so well, and it's where my love of animals originally began, and I just love that sort of thing. So I've never been to a zoo where it's actually like really depressing and they're in tiny cages, and yeah, so I really hope this zoo is not like that, but we will find out. Hello. Excited?
Yeah.
There's lots of really cool animals here, so I really hope that they're happy. So Tom and I went to Budapest Zoo, so I was really intrigued to see what this place would be like, and it was actually really cool. Like, most of the animals I was really pleased with, like the way that they were living and their enclosures, but obviously some less so. I mean, look at these sloths, guys. I thought sloths were meant to be slow. I've never seen one in real life, and this guy was zooming around it the whole time. Oh my god, these kind of enclosures where you can look down at creatures like this alligator freak me out, because I always worry that like someone could actually fall or jump in. Oh, anyway, Tom and I went into this little part of the enclosure where you can go in with the wallabies and emus, but to begin with we weren't sure if the emus were actually meant to be in there, so I was a bit worried, because I know like ostriches can be quite dangerous. So when I saw an emu, I was like, oh shit, are they like the same? And we saw a capybara, guys, and I've never seen one in real life, so that was really cool. But anyway, we stopped at a cafe in the zoo for some lunch, just a quick bite to eat. The only animal that really made me sad was the polar bear. His cage, I've never seen a polar bear in real life, so I was really excited, but his cage was really tiny and he was just like pacing back and forth, so that was really sad to see. But the rest was really cool, and I really enjoyed the aquarium area, because I just love fish, and they're just crazy, they're so cool. And then we saw this scuba diver with a little Santa hat, and he waved at us and then gave us little fist bumps through the glass, which was so cute. And oh my god, did you see that, like the hippo one? Honestly, you could actually, I swear you could feel, it felt like you could get quite close to the animals, which did freak me out a little bit, I can't lie. Tom, always looking grumpy, Tom and I went to go get some crepes and milkshake to get us going. And yeah, we continued. We went to another Christmas market, and then the Lindt store to warm up, which was so lovely. And that was St. Stephen's Basilica as well, where we went to spend some time. Oh, we went into Lush and just acted like kids and just went around and like smelt everything and played with all the textures, and it was really fun. And then we went on a little sunset, I say sunset, it was really dark by this point, but an evening river cruise, where we could put some headphones on and have the tour spoken to us in English and just see the sights along the river. This was really cool, and we got a little bit of champagne to go with it, which was lovely. However, the only issue was like we felt that the tour guide, the way that they did the tour, didn't actually specifically point out the landmarks we went by, so we got a little bit lost, but it was still really cool. And then we went to another Hungarian restaurant, which was so nice, and the way it was decorated was like, it looked like they had all sorts of like traditional things around on like decor and on the walls, and had some really, really great food. I loved it. The next day we then went to the National Museum, because we thought we have to go somewhere, you know, to learn more about Hungary while we're in another country. I thought that little thing looked like the Starbucks logo, tell me if I'm wrong, and also that looks like the Shrek thing, don't you think? But yeah, we had a really good time looking around at all the different things in, oh my god guys, the outfits, some of the outfits, like the early stuff, oh my god, so pretty. And then Tom and I went to the For Sale pub, which is quite a famous pub, again, quite big on TikTok, and guys, there was over like 80 to 100 things on the menu. Like, talk about too much choice. Like, how could we decide what to eat? Anyway, and the whole point of this pub is it's decorated with people's drawings and notes and stuff. So Tom and I did our own. We like bears and stuff. This is a whole thing. I'm sure you might have heard if you've seen other videos. So I drew a little bear, and then Tom did his own little doodles, and we stuck it up on the wall, and hopefully it'll be there forever. And hopefully people, when they go to the For Sale pub in future, maybe they'll see our little drawing. Who knows? We then had a look around Central Market Hall at all the different market stalls. It was really, really fun to look around. They have obviously a ton of food, a ton of trinkets, a ton of clothing, all sorts of stuff, toys, I don't know, you name it. So it was really fun to look around there. Then we went to Simpler Kurt, I think is how I pronounce it. And this place was so cool. It's a ruin bar. So it's a place that was obviously used to be a ruin, and someone has obviously bought it and turned it into a bar, and it's so funky and crazy, and there's all the furniture's different. There's a bathtub you can sit in as a seat. There's all sorts. Graffiti everywhere. Like, it was just such a vibe. It was really cool. I had a drink though called the Christmas Tree, and I kid you guys, it smelt and tasted of tree. Like, it was so gross. It was really bad. But Tom and I shared his beer, which was nice because his was actually nice. And at night, it all lit up and looked so funky. Like, what a cool place to be. We didn't actually stay late in the evening to have drinks or anything, but it would be such a cool place to come in the evening and just vibe with friends. We then went off to another bath. Guys, we loved going to these thermal baths. And this was the rudest bath. And here, oh my god, it was amazing. They had an outdoor area where you can look over at the city while in the thermal bath. It was so lovely. It can get quite busy up there, and you do have to wait your turn sometimes to get like a nice viewing spot. But Tom and I did eventually, and it was so lovely. We just sat there and played I Spy over the city, and it was just so much fun. We then went back into the city and had some food, and then we went to have our last breakfast of the trip, and it again, of course, was amazing. We then went to the Light Art Museum, so it was obviously art exhibition with all sorts of different art stuff, all about light, and it was so cool. Like, it was such an I can't even speak. It was such an immersive. Why can't I talk? It was such an immersive experience. Like, seriously, look at this. I believe this one you're like in a dome, so it's totally immersive. Like, you're surrounded by the light and colours, and it's meant to, I think, replicate to do with like being inside an iris. This one was super cool. It like could sense your hand movements and stuff, and projected light onto the art piece in front of you, so Tom had a good play with that. This place was just really, really cool. We then ended up going to a restaurant, a Georgian restaurant. And the last thing we did was went to the Museum of Illusions. Tom and I seem to always end up in an illusion museum on every trip we go on. And this was a really fun way to end the trip because we just had such a good time looking at all the like different illusions and stuff. And oh my god, this tunnel is the worst. It's one of those ones that, because it's spinning around you, as you walk forward, you just can't keep your balance. You're just falling over. It was awful. But it was, yeah, it was quite trippy, but it was a really cool place. Now read the colours.
Green, red, orange, yellow. Blue.
No, it's not orange.
It's not orange, is it? Blue, yellow, blue, black, red.
No,
Green,
it's not
black, red, Yellow.
No.
What?
You said yellow. It's blue.
Blue, green, black, red, yellow, green, blue, black, green, blue, red, orange. Yeah, green.
This was my favourite part when Tom had to read out the colours and kept going on. Last thing we did before heading to the airport was grabbing a nice warm drink. So I got a little hot chocolate, Tom had a coffee in this beautiful cafe that was in a hotel. And guys, look at the decorations, it was insane. And before we got the bus, we had a quick look at the ice rink, which was nearby. We didn't go ice skating ourselves, but it was still super fun to watch everyone else. Guys, this was just the best trip. I had the best time, and I can't wait to do it all again one day.